Now, the next example I want you to consider is the one of trivial actions, or the problem, and it's a problem for utilitarianism in that trivial actions are things that we normally don't think have any moral importance, but it looks like Act Utilitarianism requires that we do it. So let's take one such example. Get up in the morning, go to the kitchen cabinet, decide which box of cereal to eat. You're in a hurry. Don't worry about your concerns about that you're morally required to take care of your body and look for good nutrition. Let's set aside those issues for a second. And you got to decide which action to take. So what are the alternatives available to you? You open the closet and you find there's Raisin Bran, there's Special K, there's Honey Nut Cheerios, and Frosted Flakes. Now, let me ask you, what is the morally right action to do in this case? Stop the recording a second and think about what is the right thing. Should you have the Raisin Bran, Special K, Honey Nut Cheerios, or Frosted Flakes? Maybe you want to put a fifth that you shouldn't have anything. But leave it at those four. What is the morally preferable action? Stop and think about it for a second. Ordinarily, we would say morality doesn't require that we pick any of these. And I said, remember, set aside your concerns about nutrition, that you'd be doing something bad for yourself in the long run. It doesn't really matter which of these. You want to get something to eat, you're hungry, you got to pick it up before you go to school, to work, whatever. You pick up one of these things. But now let us see, what does utilitarianism require? Remember, an act is right if and only if no alternative to the action that the agent could have performed has a higher utility. In other words, you got to pick the action that has the highest utility or is tied for the highest utility of these. Well, let me assign some utilities to these. Let's say Raisin Bran, it's okay, it's tastes a little bit like Special K, but they have raisins, so there's some sweet stuff, maybe some natural stuff in it. Special K, well, it's about the same. Maybe I should have made it a little bit lower. I personally think it tastes like cardboard, although sometimes I actually do like having some just some flakes. That's okay, but that's a half. Now Honey Nut Cheerios, that really, it's got the honey. You think it's nutritionally better for you than than the sugar, so that gets you a little bit of a higher rating, plus 3/4. And Frosted Flakes, because it's going to rot your teeth with the sugar, and that's what you believe about it. It'll cause more discomfort. Let's say these things line up. So now, according to Act Utilitarianism, the morally right thing to do, or the only morally right thing to do, is to eat the Honey Nut Cheerios. Now, don't get wrapped up about my selection of cereal. Don't let that confuse you. If you have different set of cereals that you have different opinions about, you can change the numbers based on how you feel, and presumably the pain and pleasure is only for you. Nobody else is involved in the decision. They don't even know what you're having right now. Now, Act Utilitarianism looks like it's telling you that the only right thing to do is to have the Honey Nut Cheerios in this case. However, that isn't an action that we have any moral evaluation of. It's not the kind of action that we would decide that there's something that's one of these choices is right and the other one is wrong. That is, it's what I was calling a trivial action, and it looks like Act Utilitarianism is way too demanding in this case, in that it requires that you select one of these trivial actions when in fact any of these trivial actions would be just fine.